Welcome to our Microlearning series, brought to you by Centene Behavioral Health's Clinical Provider Training Team. This module focuses on discharge planning. This microlearning is one of 4 in a series. The topics covered in this series are care coordination, treatment planning, titration of services, and discharge planning. Check out each microlearning for more information on the topics listed. By the end of this module, you will be able to identify 2 benefits of discharge planning, state 2 ways to address discharge planning during the course of treatment, and identify 3 components of discharge. Discharge planning can be a patient-friendly and highly practical approach to guide them and improve their quality of life and mental health in the community. Proper discharge planning can improve outcome and prognosis of the person with a mental illness. Discharge planning can be a complex process. It is not a one-time event. It includes collaboration between the provider, member, family, integrated care partners, and formal and informal supports. For discharge planning to be most effective, it should be addressed throughout the treatment process. The admission and assessment phases should include collaborative information gathering that drives discharge planning. Helpful information to gather at assessment for discharge planning purposes includes current providers for whole person healthcare such as primary care and healthcare specialists, AA and NA support groups, substance use providers, and other community supports. The assessment period is also a good time to educate the member on the importance of discharge planning to set expectations for eventual discharge. This education should continue at every point. It is important for members to know the goal is for independence and continued wellness after discharge. Important education techniques include practicing teach-back techniques and using plain language. Treatment planning is a set of agreed-upon goals that can be used as a benchmark measure for both the client and provider to know when discharge is appropriate. Treatment plan updates should include a collaborative discussion about discharge planning. Care coordination supports the overall health of the member and occurs throughout the treatment episode. Care coordination allows for follow-up appointments to be made and encourages exploration of the ways in which other providers and supports can assist the member after discharge. All coordination of care activities support the discharge plan. Titrating services, which is the continuous appraisal of current needs, will also help identify when discharge is appropriate. When all of the treatment goals and needs have been addressed, it is time for discharge. All of the previous components lead to finalizing the discharge plan. The discharge plan is an agreed-upon plan to assist the member in effective independent functioning. The discharge plan is written down by the provider and should be provided to the member when they discontinue treatment with the provider. Centene Advanced Behavioral Health does not require you to submit a written discharge plan upon discharge, but it is a required component of the permanent medical record that will be expected if records are reviewed. It is important for the discharge plan to include the following. Member education should include information on their illness and what signs and symptoms to be on the look for as an indicator to return for treatment. Self-care instructions that are developed collaboratively between the provider and the member should be part of the discharge plan. The plan should include how to identify warning signs or potential problems and how to address these. This will include reminders and cues to use skills developed in treatment. These can be coping skills, problem-solving skills, daily self-care activities, and more. The discharge plan should include an integrated care component and aftercare. Appointments with other providers should be made and outlined in the document. The discharge summary should be sent to the member's primary care physicians and other treatment providers if a release of information is signed. If the member needs continued medication management after discharge, the provider needs to ensure that they continue to have access to medications and have a scheduled appointment with the medication providers. The member should know what follow-up is needed and why. The plan should also include any formal and informal support people. Each person's roles and responsibilities should be outlined. Finally, the discharge plan should describe how to return for care if it is needed. Centene Behavioral Health's mission is to help people live their best lives by being the trusted partner to create superior solutions in behavioral healthcare and wellness. We simply can't meet this mission without our providers and appreciate the work you do to meet our members' needs. If you are experiencing any barriers to discharge planning or have any additional questions, please contact Hope Tomford at the information provided on your screen. Thank you for attending this microlearning on discharge planning. References for this microlearning are shown here. If you would like to review any of these references, please click the pause button and write down the items of interest. To move on from this video, please click the next button at the bottom of your screen.